Today I will show you how to get Android Studio perfectly on your computer. First, you want to make sure that it's not installed, or that you have no traces of it if you previously deleted it. And to do that, go to Program Files and make sure you don't have any folder called Android. Here I do because I already installed it and it takes like an hour, so I don't want to waste your time. Go to Program Files and make sure there's no Android here. Then you have to go to 3 more places. Here, make sure there's nothing to do with Android. And go to Users, Your User, and make sure that you have these 4 folders deleted. And go to App Data, Local, and make sure you don't have the Android folder. Next, you want to make sure that you have the JDK. So if you know about the Java JDK, you can just get it online. Just hit JDK, Java, and it'll come up. Oops. And then you can get the Java SE. Make sure you don't go to like java.com website and download it, because that really won't work. You want to get the JDK, so hit Downloads, Java SE, and make sure you get this right here. Yeah, and then once you've done that, after you installed it, take note of the directory and make an environmental variable. So go to Java, JDK, and take note of this, and then with that, you want to make an environment variable called Java Home and paste the directory. The reason I'm moving fast here is because the Android takes a long time. And so once you have all this done, set up, then now you can get your Android Studio. So how do you do that? Android Studio. And then here you can download the Android Studio. Just get the latest version, whatever version you want, and download it and hit agree, and then do all that. Just follow the steps. I wouldn't work on changing anything in the steps, because in one part it asks like how much RAM do you want to give. Just put 524 or whatever, and you can manually change it later. So once you put that, then the next thing you should do after you've done that, the next thing you should do is you should now open up Android Studio. Excuse me, that was a long time. And make a basic application. I'll pause the video if this takes forever to load. Alright, now that I have Android Studio opened up, first you want to open up your Sdk Manager and make sure you have your right SDKs downloaded. Okay, once you have your Sdk Manager opened up, make sure you have like one of the APIs you want installed, and make sure you have the latest SDK tools, this one, and this one installed. I mean, unless you know what you're doing, then I wouldn't worry about changing it. But the main things you need is a Android support repository, Android support library, Google repository, Google USB driver, and Intel HAXM x86 emulator accelerator. So once you have those all installed, then you're good. And next thing is you have to make sure that RAM of the HAX is equal to the RAM of the virtual machine. So the next thing you should work on is open up your Avd Manager. Alright, and then hit the pencil icon, hit show advanced settings, scroll down and take note of this. The RAM is 1 GB. So what I would do here is, since this is 1 GB, I would make this take note of this number, but here I'm putting it as 512 actually, 512, and then I hit finish. next thing you should work on is make sure the RAM of the HAX is equal to what you just put. So next you want to go to Program Files, Android, back up, Users, so your user, App Data, Local, Android, SDK, Extras, Intel, this thing, and open up this application. You're not going to install it, you're just going to change the properties. So don't worry about it, anything breaking or anything. Hit change, and this default value, make sure you take note of this. Default value is 1024 megabytes. So what you want to do now is make note. You can set it manually, but I would only work on that if you have if you know what you're doing and you have a lot of RAM spare, and then just change it whatever to you want. But I would just keep it default because I don't have that much RAM. And that's it. And now open up your Avd Manager, and the RAM right here has to be perfectly equal, otherwise it won't work at all. So once you've done that, just hit finish and your HAXM error will disappear too. Now let's talk about some other errors that may occur on Android Studio. One of them is that VTX is never enabled, or virtualization is never enabled, or one of those errors. So I'll show you how you can fix that. I'm trying to open up Notepad so you can take note of what I do. Okay, what you want to do is check if VTX is enabled in BIOS. Now, to enter that, you have to hit some specific buttons, and you can find the entire manual on how to enter BIOS when your computer is booting up. Make sure you have that enabled, and then say you're working with Windows Phone development. Windows Phone development uses hyperthreading. If you guys know what that is, that's good. You don't want hyperthreading enabled any way at all whenever you're doing Android emulators and Windows at the same time. So you only need to have one of the following: hyperthreading for Windows or Intel HAX for Android. So what you want to do is just turn this off for now, and when you're working on Android development. So other than that, that's it, guys. I only know that much, and I just wanted to share what I knew about HAX. So if these methods work for you, that's great. Otherwise, peace out. See you guys next time.